So sometimes during the metta, I like to do a chant. And this is the chant that I do. So I wanted to explain what it means. Like I say, I'm not sure whether I do it or not. It's sort of like spur of the moment. But if you ever hear me do this chant, I want to make sure everybody understands that it's a spiritual, not political statement. This is one of the main Hebrew prayers that my rabbi used to say all the time. That's why I internalized it when I was a little boy. But I like it because it can be given a really deep interpretation. Excuse me while I wet my whistle.
Shinzen, are you using that instead of the whiteboard?
It was just lighter to carry over. Can people see it? If not, I guess you'll have to. Well, I mean, this particular thing, unless you read Hebrew, may not be all that relevant. You know, if you sort of squint your eyes a little bit, it looks like Tibetan. That's not a coincidence. Can you believe that? That is not a coincidence. Tibetan is derived from Devanagari script of India. Devanagari script of India is derived from the Aramaic script, which has its origin in what is now called Lebanon. And so does Hebrew, and so does Greek, and therefore Latin, and therefore our alphabet also. Alphabet was only invented once. It's one of the most extraordinary cases of cultural diffusion known. 1,000 years ago, some very clever people in what is now Lebanon figured out the concept of alphabet. And it spread by diffusion all the way to Japan and Indonesia, and all the way to England. Just went around the whole Eastern Hemisphere, basically. They all go back to one source. That's why alphabet, from alpha, beta, gamma, delta, in Greek, aleph, bet, gimel, daled. So, okay, ain't a coincidence. Anyway, this is Hebrew letters. And it says, I hope I didn't screw it up. I did it from memory. Ose shalom b'mromav hu ya'ase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. So this has this word, shin lamed mem. This is a really, really interesting 3 syllables. The Arabic pronunciation is salam. The Hebrew pronunciation is shalom. Usually understood as peace, but it means a lot more. A lot more. I'm not going to do it now, but in the past I've given an entire talk about how the entire path can be described in terms of permutations of these 3 letters. Essentially, it's not just peace. It's peace that comes through completeness. Shalem means complete as an adjective. So when you have a complete experience of something, okay, when you are complete with it, where does that lead to? It leads to the absolute peace of 0. So the process of completing leads to this peace, and furthermore, it has a connotation of safety and well-being. It's all sort of there. The Afro-Asiatic languages, of which Hebrew is one, and so is Arabic, and so is ancient Egyptian, they have a very different structure. There's 3 consonants, and then the vowels and other consonants are permuted around that or positioned around that to create words and grammatical forms. So just the shin lamed mem, the shalom alone, and then you could put vowels in different places. Like you can make shalom, you can make Islam, Muslim, and so forth. So anyway, this is a special kind of peace that comes about, in my way of thinking, through doing the activity of whatever it is. And sure enough, ose, this means doing, okay? So may he or it who creates absolute peace, who is creating, actually this is a present participle, may the one who is creating the peace of heaven bring peace to you, ve'al kol Yisrael, that's the part I wanted to talk about, and upon all of Israel's. So in my way of understanding, which is the way I choose to understand, Israel doesn't refer to a tribe or a nation. I like to think of it as the Sangha, the community who struggles for spirituality, because actually Isra, if you remember the story of Jacob's ladder, etc., Isra means, is from a root that means to struggle. So I interpret this as meaning to struggle to get to God, okay? So it has no political or ethnic connotations for me whatsoever within this statement, because I cannot imagine any kind of blessing that is limited to one nation or one ethnos. So just want to make that clear. I'll call Yisrael ve'imru, and say, that should be over there, Amen, which you know from English, Amen, so be it, something like that. So if you ever hear me sing this during the metta, you'll know what it refers to. It has a lot of deep meaning. Okay, so just wanted to mention that.